I picked fifth in today's MEC preseason poll. We now welcome sixth-year West Virginia State head coach John Pennington. John, just give us an opening statement on your team's outlook for the season.
Every year we get these polls out, and they don't really do a whole lot for us as coaches. They do give you an idea of where you kind of fall in the with the other head coaches, but I think our outlook is just that we're going to be competitive. We compete, every day in practice. The way that this team overall competes excites me, and it just kind of shows me that that we're right up there in the mix with the talent in the conference, that we can compete with anybody, and that's what we need to do this fall.
Use the raise hand function if you'd like to ask some questions. Jonathan, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach. Donovan Riddick passed for 2,200 yards and 16 touchdowns in 2021. Talk about his progression in performance early in camp this season.
Yeah, when you get those starts under your belt, those live bullets, I think he's had 15 starts. The game starts to slow down for you. You don't have to maybe worry as much about what play is being run over here, what the routes are. You can start looking at what's the leverage of the defensive back, or what kind of coverage are they in, or what's the front. And so it's a lot easier when a quarterback gets those experience, with those starts. So, the game slowed down. He looks incredible. I think we're just scratching the surface of what he's capable of. I think towards the end of last season, I think the last 5 games or last 7 games, he really had, and the statistics went, were way better at the end of the season, I think, because he got comfortable. And that's, I think, what you're going to see more of, this season. He's a captain. He's our leader. He's not only a good football player, but he's an excellent student. He does all the things right. And you can see it in practice. There's a lot of eyes being opened up, a lot of oohs and ahs when he's out there on the field with his arm. We kind of ran him as a younger player. But now, he's so good in the pocket. His vision is incredible. His athleticism helps him find windows in the pocket that some of the other quarterbacks we've had here haven't been able to do.
Go, James.
Hey, Coach. You've talked about mental toughness and being elite as themes for our football team in the past. Are there any new themes or coaching philosophies that you have for this season?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's what we've hung our hat on since I've been, the head coach at West Virginia State, is the mental toughness side of it and the way that we compete. But we talk about maxing it out. This is the only season we've got. Today's the only practice we've got. We want to max out everything that we do, the classroom, the meeting rooms. That's kind of our slogan, is whatever we're doing, we want to max it out with how we compete, with how we approach things, and just trying to be the best and reach our potential with everything that we do. And it also kind of reminds us to stay in the present. Don't worry about being picked 5th in the conference, right? Just max out today. And so you can, prove that isn't an accurate poll.
Coach, we talked about Riddick a little bit, but he also has 2 500-yard receivers coming back in Hill and Cunningham. Talk about the receiver room and just that offense that you're going to put on the field this season.
Yeah, it's deep. Barry Hill is an explosive receiver that can play in the slot and outside. Cunningham, Kibo, he can play in the slot, and he can also block in the box. He was a running back, so he's a physical guy, 215 plus pounds. So those 2 guys are really looking good. And we've got Luke Gatson coming back, who had, I don't know how many yards he has, but he's had a couple touchdowns in his career, had a couple transfers come in. So we're extremely deep. If one guy gets tired, we can throw somebody else in there. Javion Monroe's a transfer that we're extremely excited about. We've got Drew Hatfield that transferred in, local guy. Jeremy Dillon, another local guy that transferred in. So we're pretty excited about, what's going on in that wide receiver room. And we wanted to, you got to get, you can't just have a great quarterback. You got to have weapons to throw to. And they certainly have shown that in camp, that they are they're dangerous.
Go ahead, James.
Yeah, so last season, the magic number was 30. We won every game where we scored 30 or more points. What do you think is going to get us over the top against those tougher defenses this year?
I just believe in my core, in my heart, that it's all about, how you approach the game and our mental focus, our mental toughness, how we compete, whether we score 50 or 3, if we win 3-2, that's fine with me, and I think you hear the saying, offense wins games, defense wins championships. And I just think great teams win championships. And I think we have a great team. And I think that, maybe that was last year's number. And that's probably true for a lot of teams. If we put up some points, more than 30, you're probably going to win a lot of those games. But we have got to find a way to win those close games against those teams at the top of the conference. And for me, I don't really get hung up on points. It's just wins and losses. And to me, that's our mental approach. And that's the best way we can, score 30 points is be, locked in on what we're doing on offense, and then defense and special teams setting up those scores. But I think our defense and our special teams are going to be excellent this year. They're going to set up the offense to get some of those points.
Jonathan, you have one more?
Yeah, Coach. Defensively, you returned 2 of your leading tacklers from a season ago, in Ibrahim Sisse at cornerback, and then Jeremiah Covington Griggs at linebacker. Can you preview the defense that will take the field in Institute this season?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be multiple because we have 2 defensive end outside backer types that are multi-talented. Jeremiah Covington Griggs and Jalen Jones. I'm extremely excited about our front. Nazir Jones is our nose guard. He's extremely difficult to block and gets those linebackers free. Corlin Witcher is our 3 technique, and he is as consistent as any D lineman in the conference. Both of them playing at an all conference level. And then we got those 2 outside linebackers that are demons in the pass rush, but very physical in the run game as well. So that front is really the key to everything in the run game, stopping the run, obviously, but putting pressure on the quarterback and altering throws, and that they've made it really difficult on us to throw the ball and run the ball. And then you've got veterans in the back end like Abraham Sisse, who was a first-team all-conference corner, multiple all-conference corner, with his experience. You've got safety Christian Thompson, who was an all-conference player. I think Henry Houchins is an all-conference player at safety as well. Jeff Parker, Paul Sanchez. We've got a handful of guys in the secondary with experience. So, I mean, that front and that secondary are really, what make our defense go. We've got some young linebackers that are making plays and excited to, get their opportunity this year.
Coach, so you're in year 6 at West Virginia State, becoming one of the veterans in the Mountain East. Talk about the growth of that program that you've been able to build down there.
Yeah, I mean, I can look out my window and see the growth. I mean, I'm sitting in a new building, there's new turf, lights, and so I think one of the reasons I wanted to come, back home to West Virginia State 6 years ago is because I saw, what the school and the administration and Yellow Jacket Nation was kind of getting behind on the side of football. And that's really what it is. It's the athletic director, it's James, it's everyone in administration, it's our fans, the Yellow Jacket Nation. And you just continue to build and build and build. And, the record hasn't shown it yet, but I can see it, every day how we're growing as a program. And, the next step is, to go from good to great. 6-5, 7-4, whatever we've been is just not good enough. We want to be the best, and we want to win a conference championship, and that's the goal, that's the mission. And if we keep doing, those little things right over time, and with the support that we have, we're going to do that.
Any other questions? Thank you, Coach. We appreciate you joining us this afternoon. Good luck this season.
All right. Thank you all. Appreciate the questions.